Hello, fellow digital soldiers, and welcome to True Reporting. It is January 3rd, and on today's podcast, I wanted to do a follow-up with these military tribunals and court-martial threads. I just released a podcast earlier that was a pretty good breakdown of what could be happening in 2019. Guys, I wanted to be honest with you. I'm feeling a lull in the way that people are approaching 2019. If you're questioning what has already happened, a lot has happened behind the scenes. I believe that when Q tells us that 2018 will be glorious, is he directly speaking to the people of the United States? Is he speaking to operators on the boards? That's all up for speculation. But maybe a lot has happened, and now we're witnessing the movie part of what has already taken place. So guys, don't get bummed out. Don't get down on yourselves about the way things turned out. A lot has happened, and we need to keep our chins up, and we need to move forward as an army of digital soldiers and just people who are true patriots, right? So I wanted to share this with you also. Again, I want you to take it in with your own discernment. And just know that there are executive orders out there that are talking about manual for court-martial and military tribunals, and this stuff is happening. And the Annex 2 amendment took effect on the 1st. So things are in place. The Senate is in place. The Supreme Court is in place. So why, hold your head low, right? We need to be optimistic. So with that being said, before I get into this thread, would you please go ahead and click that bell to get notifications so when I post, you'll be the first to know. Also, please follow me on Twitter at True Reporting. And don't forget to leave a like. The more likes that this video receives, the more times it is recommended to other viewers, thus more eyes on the truth. With that being said, my friends, let's hop into it. This is True Reporting. So this was also sent to me, like I said, it's a follow-up of military tribunal threads. This is from @blueprint_Q. And I wanted to read it to you. I don't think it's a coincidence that two things were sent to me back to back. I believe that it was sent to me to share to you. Like I said before, please use your discernment. There could be a lot of truth to this. But just use your own logical thinking, as Q says, right? So it says here, Executive Order 13825, 2018 Amendments to the Manual for Court-Martial, United States. Amendment, Annex 2 amendments took effect 01/01/2019. Annex 1 amendments took effect on the date of this order, March 1st, 2018. The source, and we can see here, you can actually go and click on that and check out that link. 2018 amendments to the Manual for Court-Martial. And we'll continue on. The Uniform Code of the Military Justice, UCMJ, provided for 4 different types of court-martial: summary, special, general, and joint jurisdiction. U.S. military tribunals are courts designed to try members of enemy states and forces and civilians accused of being unlawful enemy combatants acting in violation of the laws of war. Judges are military officers and fulfill the role of jurors. So we have military generals that have stood down, not have stood down, but who have left. Kelly and Mattis, and we have Jeff Sessions, and we have Admiral Rogers too. These people have stepped down, and could they be used in a military tribunal? Could they be used for that reason? Is that the reason that they retired or they stepped out of their position? One would hope. And like I said, guys, this seems like, to me, it's all lining up for this to be taking place as I speak. So, take that into effect, right? Number 3, the term unlawful combatant. This is what Senator Lindsey Graham and Supreme Court Judge Brett Kavanaugh were speaking about. Again, seems to be lining up, right? Equal to enemy combatant is long established and has been used for the past century in legal literature, military manuals, and case law. We can see, touched on by Graham and Kavanaugh, the Military Commissions Act of 2006 codified legal definitions of enemy combatant and invests the U.S. president with broad discretion to determine who may be designated an unlawful enemy combatant under U.S. law. And there's a lot of them, guys, and we know the names. Military tribunals have been used by presidents Washington, Jackson, Lincoln, and FDR. The most prominent U.S. civilian tried in this way were Democrat politicians Clement L. Vallandigham, Lambden P. Milligan, and Benjamin Gwynn Harris. All were convicted Democrat politicians. In the modern era, politicized activist groups such as the ACLU have attempted to diminish and confuse the importance of military tribunals throughout the U.S. history, advocating for their abolishment. I don't know about that. That sounds sketchy to me. Number 7, considered by many one of the most important cases in regards to protecting the liberties of an American citizen, Supreme Court case Ex parte Milligan, 1866, ruled against civilian military tribunals when civilian courts are operational. Though the 1866 Supreme Court agreed with Milligan's argument 9-1, the majority disagreed with the idea Congress didn't have the power to authorize military tribunals for civilians. The majority also laid out the 3 situations where military tribunals were appropriate. The first of these may be called jurisdiction under military law, and is found in the acts of Congress prescribing rules and articles of war, or otherwise providing for the government of the national forces. The second may be distinguished as military government, superseding as far as may be deemed expedient the local law and exercise the local law and exercised by the military commander under the direction of the president with the express or implied sanction of Congress. The third may be dominated martial law proper. We've all been hearing about martial law. Again, could we be seeing something like that swooping in throughout the night? I have people calling in all the time on my call-in show asking about when is martial law being placed into effect. It says martial law proper and is called into action by Congress or temporarily when the action of Congress cannot be invited, and in the case of justifying or excusing peril by the president in times of insurrection or invasion or civil foreign war. Some argue, we can see here that in times of insurrection or invasion, just think of that, the caravan, right? Could we be under martial law and just not know it? Some argue the U.S. has operated under martial law since Lincoln's Civil War, citing Admiralty Court as proof. For a variety of reasons, this theory doesn't hold. Specifically, Admiralty Court is established by 28 U.S. Code 133, not martial law. So I guess it didn't hold. Others argue the U.S. has operated under martial law since 2003, Patriot Act, and 2012's National Defense Authorization Act, and National Defense Resources Preparedness Executive Order. Here's an ironic argument by the Huffington Post. It says at one level, the prospect for war with Iran is probably an immediate justification, but the comprehensions of the executive order like that, I don't trust Huffington Post, but it says ironic, so obviously they may be for it. You can check out that article when I leave the link to this thread in the description box below. 14 says, what is certain is the ongoing authorization to use military force 2001, and that the U.S. has been at war with enemy states' forces ever since. This means citizens defined by the president as enemy combatants can be tried by a military tribunal. In the case of a civil war or an insurrection, the term enemy state may be replaced by more general term party to the conflict, as described in the 1949 Geneva Convention's Article 3. The keyword search friendly PDF version of the 2018 amendments to the Manual for Court-Martial United States is located here, and you can check that out. To search keywords in this document on mobile, click the top right of your browser, most, and select Find in Page. On the desktop, press Ctrl F to activate your drop-down Find in Page option. Notable Annex 1 amendments. Civilian counsel added to judge advocates for Special Victims Counsel. Upon significant or sufficient showing, military judges may now deny, restrict, or defer the accused further inspection or discovery of evidence. Military judges may now review any material in camera, closed chamber. Again, this goes right along with the last thread I talked about, that these military tribunals will be secretive, right? And only probably brought to us through the president or Q or the alliance, not by mainstream media. They're not allowed in there. Elimination of mandatory sealing of material viewed in camera, though the military judge reserves the right to seal any material as deemed appropriate. Though the military judge reserves the right to seal any material as deemed appropriate. So we have to, like Q has always said, we have to clean out the jurisdiction, the judicial system, so that we can have military tribunals perform fairly, correct? So, you know, I would hope that they would find that all material is deemed appropriate and that we need it to be shown to the public and it not to be sealed away. So it says, authorized by the U.S. Attorney General, a designee has been added to the authority that can offer immunity. Court reporter added to the parties binded with the responsibility of maintaining the confidentiality of sealed material and appropriately marking such material. Definition of disclosure of sealed material strengthened. Whoa, that's good. Any I believe this is pronounced appellate, motions and material used to object to seal material withheld is now sealed as well. Sexual offense language against adults and children is strengthened. Oh, thank God. Notable Annex 1 amendments, massive. The sources and quote of military jurisdiction include the Constitution and international law. International law includes the law of war, enemy combatants. Jurisdiction includes persons subjected to trial by military tribunals. No conveying authority or commander may censure, reprimand, or admonish a court-martial or other military tribunal or any member, military judge, or counsel thereof, with respect to the findings or sentence adjudged by the court-martial or tribunal. A court-martial always has jurisdiction to determine whether it has jurisdiction. And he puts the laugh emoji. See rules. I found this to be pretty important. So if you want to listen in. 703, variant or order for wire electronic communications. FISA, right? Immunity, plea agreements, public trial, disqualification of military judge, capital cases, review by Supreme Court, sentences requiring approval by the president. A court-martial always has jurisdiction to determine whether it has jurisdiction. See rules. Evidence of obtained from unlawful searches and seizures. Searches not requiring probable cause. Similar crimes in child molestation cases. Government information. Identity of informants. Polygraph examinations not admissible. Authenticating or identifying evidence that is self-authenticating, principles, accessory after fact, conviction of offense, charge, lesser included offenses, attempt, see articles, attempts, conspiracy, soliciting commission of offenses, mutiny or sedition, improper use of countersign, forcing a safeguard, spies, espionage, aiding the enemies, public record offenses, false official statements, false swearing, military property of United States, loss, damage, destruction, or wrongful disposition, mail matter, wrongful taking, opening, etc., emails, riot or breach of peace, murder, death or injury of an unborn child, child endangerment, rape, sexual assault generally, rape and sexual assault of a child, other sexual misconducts. We all know that they do all of these things. Everything I've read, they've done. They're all guilty. We can see larceny and wrongful appropriation, offenses concerning government computers, Hillary, extortion, obstruction, justice, child pornography. Telling you guys, this is all adding up. It's all lining up. And finally, this concludes my court-martial and tribunal thread. Executive Order 13825, 2018 Amendment to the Manual for Court-Martial United States. Thank you for reading. God bless America, our military heroes, and our president. MAGA military tribunals, where we go one, we go all. QAnon, and then we see this wonderful picture. I love this. That gives me chills. Guys, again, all I believe is that the two threads that were sent to me by patriots, and I don't find it to be disinformation, although I can't confirm it. So use your discernment when reading this. Like I said, pretty much this whole thread was what is in law, right? This is what has been implanted in for 2018 and 2019 amendments. So guys, if you found this informative and you enjoyed it, please subscribe to my channel. You can also follow me on Twitter at True Reporting, and don't forget to leave a like on this video. You can donate to this channel by going to my Patreon or my PayPal in the description box below. And guys, I hope you have a wonderful evening. Be kind to one another and love one another, and we'll talk to you soon. Good night.